This is the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with me, Jamie O'Hara, and Dean Saunders. We want to hear from you. Get involved. 03717 223344. I had a tweet coming here from Andy. The West Ham fan is deluded. Rice does not get into Liverpool's midfield, full stop. Fabinho is on a different level, as is Hendo and Thiago. Would rather us sign Jude Bellingham. For me, Rice is overrated and too slow for our midfield. That's from JR, the LFC fan. What do you make of that? 03717 223344. It's getting a lot of traction this morning as well. Did you listen to the breakfast show? Gabby Agbonlahor talking nonsense as usual?
No, I heard Gabby talking about salmon. He was talking about salmon. Yeah, he's saying it needs spices on it and it's bland. You don't want to eat salmon that's bland. Him and Laura were talking about.
Yeah, you got to love Gabs.
Some cook was on there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you who it was. Who's the fitness? Bo Wicks. Joe Wicks.
Joe Wicks. Who's Bo Wicks?
Oh, sorry, got his name wrong. Joe Wicks. Talking about eating the right food and all
Wicks.
that. Joe Wicks.
Joe Wicks, yeah.
And then Gabby was saying, he needs spices on his. Well, he's funny, Gabby, isn't he?
He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, and he's back on tomorrow. But he said this morning, Declan Rice should consider a move to Europe and should think about Real Madrid. What do you make of that?
Oh, well, I mean, what's wrong with that? If I asked you now...
Staying in Premier League.
If I asked you, phoned you up, if you got a call tonight from Real Madrid, and do you want to come and play for us? You'd say no.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving.
I'll give you 600 grand a week.
Yeah.
Or you can sign for Spurs.
You're doing the show on your own, mate. I'm off.
You can sign
Straight
for Spurs.
City Airport.
And I'll give you 150 grand a week.
No, look, for Declan Rice, is that the best place to be? The Premier League is where you want to be. That's where the best players want to play now.
Yeah. It's the best league.
It's the best league, the best managers, the best teams.
But there are certain clubs you can't turn down in your career. Barcelona, this is my opinion. Barcelona, can't turn them down if they come asking. Real Madrid, you can't turn them down.
You can. You can.
I'd find it hard as a player to say no to them two clubs.
Put Luka Modric and Toni Kroos in their midfield. They're unbelievable still. Toni Kroos is only, 30, I think? Modric's older. He's 36, but still, he's unbelievable.
Would you turn down Real Madrid? You'd say to him, no, sorry, thanks very much. I'm staying in the Premier League.
I don't know.
I know what you're trying to say about Declan Rice. He needs to play a bit longer in this league, and then eventually...
If Man City come in for me and Real Madrid come in for me...
Yeah,
I'm going Real Madrid.
I like Declan Rice's attitude more than anything else. I like his attitude, the way he plays football. He wants to win.
Yeah. No, he does. He absolutely does. Right, let's go to Jake, who's a Southampton fan. Jake, good evening.
Evening. I've just been listening to obviously what you've been saying about Declan Rice, yeah, and I've seen a lot of Declan Rice this season. I watch a lot of football. I'm a season ticket holder down at St Mary's.
Yeah.
And I've watched a lot of James WardProwse and I've watched a lot of Oriol Romeo.
Uh-huh.
Okay, don't get me wrong. 150 million for Declan Rice is ridiculous. I've watched James WardProwse pocket Declan Rice 3 times this season. We stuffed them at their ground, we stuffed them in the cup, and we drew against them in the league at St Mary's. What Declan Rice is he's good physically. He can drive with the ball. He's decent on the ball. But I think the only thing he has over James Ward-Prowse is that physical drive where he gets the ball deep, drives forward.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse can pass like Declan Rice. James WardProwse can break up the play like Declan Rice, okay? And what he can also do, what Declan Rice can't do, is whip a free kick into the top bins or a pinpoint delivery. And James WardProwse ain't worth 150 million.
What do you think he's worth? What do you think he's worth if you're going to value Declan Rice? I mean, it's just, you're right, it's ridiculous, 150 million.
Yeah, but that's
he just lifts everybody else's price up.
100 million.
Who?
Jack Grealish went for £100 million.
Well, that's ridiculous as well. Because, it's just going...
Jake, just
mind-boggling.
Just on Ward-Prowse, he doesn't get in the England squad.
I know. I
doesn't
can't
play.
believe it.
But that's... You're telling me Gareth Southgate is getting it wrong?
In my opinion, I think Ward-Prowse should be next to Rice.
In front of Calvin Phillips?
Yes. Again, what can... I'm asking you, what can Calvin Phillips do that James Ward-Prowse can't? Because I can name things that Calvin Phillips can't do that James Ward-Prowse can.
Yeah. Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice were put in the England team to stop the opposition scoring. That's why they were there. That's what they're good at.
Jake, I'm a massive fan of James Ward-Prowse. If you hear me on this show, I talk about him all the time. I think he's absolutely brilliant. But I think if you're talking about levels, I think Declan Rice is above him in terms of, a level of a player that can go to another level. I don't think James Ward-Prowse can get to a level that Declan Rice could get to.
Okay, I'll ask you this then. What has apart from that drive from the back, that physical, he's more physical than Prowse. Prowse ain't the quickest player, don't get me wrong. He's carrying a bit of a caravan.
I think he dictates the tempo better than Ward-Prowse. I think he dictates the game more than he does. I think he'll get on the ball more than Ward-Prowse would do.
Yeah, okay, you used to play professional football, so I can't really argue with that. But like I said, I've seen Declan Rice a lot of times this season. I've seen him twice down at St Mary's. I've seen him at London Stadium when we played them. Yeah. And I'm telling you, James Ward-Prowse and Romeo, not to mention him, they've done a job on him.
Yeah.
Twice this season, comfortably.
These two top midfielders, Jake. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. You make a really good point there. Let's go to Connor, who's a West Ham fan. Connor.
Hi, Connor.
Hello, you right?
Yeah, all right, Connor. What do you make of that from Jake? Said that he got pocketed by Ward-Prowse.
I mean, look, if you're talking about best midfielders in the league, I think Declan Rice is definitely up there. And for him to say that he got pocketed by Ward-Prowse and Romeo, I think it's not really taking into account the position that Declan Rice plays. He's a holding midfielder. It's not like you can pocket a holding midfielder. What are you doing, preventing him from playing balls forward? Sure. I can understand if he said he pocketed a striker, but a defensive midfielder, I don't think so, no.
Yeah, no, he made.
No, I think I don't think he. I mean, he don't like run the game with the ball, does he? Declan Rice, like Paul Scholes would run the game with the ball.
I think he does, mate.
I think he does as well.
No, you can stop him. You can stop him. You can stop Declan Rice running the game. You can with the ball. Physically, you might not be able to stop him if he goes box to box with you and he runs the game that way, a bit like Paul Ince used to do and Roy Keane, where they're up that box, then they're back in this box and they're tackling but with the ball, I think you can stop him. He's not brilliant on the ball. He's not as good, Jimmy. I mean this. Listen, I mean this.
What player are you watching?
On the ball, you were better on the ball than him.
I wasn't.
He's physically, he was miles better than you. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But on the ball...
He's better than me on the ball, mate. And I was good. I was good on the ball and I could pass. He sees better. He sees better passes. He sees things.
He's a different type of player to you. He's an all-rounder, but I don't think he can run the game with the ball.
Connor, would you pay £150 million for him? Do you think he's worth that?
I'm a West Ham fan, and I think effectively to us, he is worth £150 million. And I think in today's market, you look at the prices. I mean, Grealish going for £100 million. You got Harry Maguire going for £80 million. I mean, if Harry Maguire is going for £80 million, you can put Declan Rice's price tag at £300 million. It's, you know what I mean? They're incomparable, them two. So.
Do you think he could have a little bit of a Maguire issue like what he's had going to Manchester United? Maguire was absolutely brilliant at Leicester. Everyone talked about him. He was like the best player in the centre half. He goes to Manchester United and he crumbles. Do you think that could be the case with Declan?
Jamie, you're spot on with that point. I mean, you look at most of the players that have gone to Man United in the last 5-10 years. They've been fantastic players. Their previous gone to Man United and they've just been terrible. Yeah. You look at Pogba, like he was fantastic at Juventus. He was world class. You look at, I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but
Di Maria, Memphis,
Di Maria, brilliant.
Yeah. It's been a lot of players.
They go to Man United, so I think Man United's problems are more deeper rooted than the players they sign. I think it's got to be something to do with the backroom staff or. Something.
I totally agree with you, Connor. I absolutely think it's a graveyard for players there and managers. I don't know why anyone would want to go to Manchester United at the minute, apart from the fact of the nostalgia of it being Manchester United.
Signed the wrong characters. The characters are not right. Top players don't need motivating. Top players, they motivate themselves. There's too many players at Man United. It's the talent comes before the character. Declan Rice is exactly the character you need. Whether he's good enough to play at the highest level, we'll wait and see.